chatted with you. What's the update? What's impressing you out there?
Well, our guys have done a tremendous job in terms of the daily work ethic, the energy level, attitude's been really good. I'm talking to them today as we start heading into the last few weeks before we actually start playing real games. Really tighten some stuff up and being even more purposeful in terms of what we need to continue to get better at. But I've been very pleased. I'm pleased with where we're at right now. Not good enough. We got a long way to go. But after 20 practices, we're starting to kind of develop a little bit of an identity in terms of what we need to do well, but also what we need to keep working on.
Part of that identity, if you want to kind of expand on that.
Well, I mean, obviously, for me, it starts on the defensive end. We'll be able to pressure the ball a little bit more and be a little more aggressive defensively, which I think suits this team with LaQuincy and Xavier and David. Those are strong guards that can get into the ball a little bit more. We got good length on the perimeter, and we got good length inside. Our depth has been pretty good. Alexis will practice full today for the first time all year long. He's been no contact. Been able to go through everything just whenever we go live or any contact stuff he's stayed out of. So we'll see how he does today with that a little bit. We're going to take that slow with, roughly 3 weeks before we open up. Should be plenty of time. So that's going to be a big help for us as well.
What's he been dealing with?
He hyperextended his elbow.
Oh.
So he's been out for the first 3 weeks of practice, and he did it 2 weeks before practice started. So it's been about the last 2 weeks or so that he's been able to go through all the drills, all the, offensive review stuff, installation stuff, but he just has not been able to go live. And then Madud is still out with the broken foot, and no time frame on that yet.
Coach, since we last met with you, which was about a month ago, what areas would you say the team's made the biggest strides in practice?
I think our just the defensive principles and some of the changes that we've made. Sometimes, in the past, it was, defensively it was just try to hold the fort a little bit, bend and don't break, and we want to be more aggressive defensively, but still stay very disciplined. And that's a challenge. We got a hard playing group, we really do. But you also, as I said, the term I use, you have to do it with intent and with purpose, as opposed to getting out of our discipline system and style. And that's a challenge, especially when it's new, especially when you got, as I said, the good news is everybody in our program has now been recruited by us. But no one's been here longer than 16 months, so it's a step that we need to take. Offensively, our execution is much better. We have a very unselfish team offensively. We do move the ball and share the ball. Now the next step with that is, as we move the ball, players have to move. You still can't get caught watching as whenever the ball is driven, guys have to be moving off the ball to create better passing angles and different things like that. So I think, our offensive execution and grasping the offensive game plan, especially when it's time to make a play. Once the play breaks down, now you got to make a play. Getting a better feel for that has been a step I think we've taken.
Following up on the 16 months for your most experienced players, is this the youngest team that you've ever had to coach?
It's definitely the least experienced in terms of playing for me. You know what I mean? But we only have 4 upperclassmen. So that's 9 freshmen or sophomores. So if, 27 years or 28 years now of coaching, I can't, remember the youth of every team that I've been associated with. But if this isn't the youngest, it's in the top 2 or 3 for sure.
So Andy Katz wrote you guys, lifted you guys up in his thoughts a little bit. He said also that you're still a big unknown. It's a strange question, but is that does that apply to you as well? You don't really know what you got until you get them out there?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I think through the close scrimmage and the exhibition game, you'll find out a little more. The non-conference, you find out a little more heading into league play. You know, can we, you know, continue to improve during the season? You know, I've never been a big guy in terms of this is our ultimate goal this year or anything like that. I'm a more of a daily habits type guy. And through that process and understanding your daily habits, if you keep doing those the right way, then eventually you're going to break through. And, you know, that's what we talk about. And so sometimes in a snapshot, you don't get a good picture, but if you take a step back in a panoramic view, you might have a better feel for where we're at and where we want to get to.
Do you like your front court rotations coming together?
Yeah, a little bit, but you know, the biggest challenge is with Lex, you know, not being able to really practice and participate. But with you know, Mike's had a good 3 weeks of practice. Nick is vastly improved. Antune is really, you know, for a junior college guy, 3 weeks into practice, he's picked up stuff well. Very intelligent player. And then you add Lex into it, and then we'll play 4 guards, you know, with Ray Sean at the swing spot or TJ at the swing spot, which allows us to stretch the court even more. Our basketball IQ overall is pretty good. So being able to flip-flop some guys and put guys in different positions, and being able to, you know, diagram a special situation on the side. We had a close scrimmage the other day with referees, and I was really impressed with our guys being able to pick some stuff up. Sometimes you have some teams, you draw it up and they go out there and, you know, there's no chance of them executing it. And our guys did a very good job of that. Very good job of that. All good? All right, guys. Yeah.